My name is Lopez Noel, and welcome to the weekly announcements for the week of April 30th, 2023. I am your mentioned leader. Thank you for being here. This week we have several important and special things going on, as if it was not the only time I was going to say that, because this is what I'm going to be doing now, making these weekly videos. And so the first really big thing that's happening this week astrologically is the fact that Pluto is going retrograde. This means that we're going to be confronted with shadow work and dealing with a lot of past material secrets might be revealed also. On the 5th of May, we have the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is happening at around 14 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus, and so this is about power, releasing what no longer serves you, and that lunar eclipse happening will bring things to light that are unexpected because Uranus is involved with this lunar eclipse. And then on Sunday, which leads into next week, Venus moves into Cancer. Venus in Cancer is about what makes you feel nurtured and nourished on the home front, family, roots, and other fourth house matters. Putting your love and value into your family and connecting on a deeper emotional level. This is the last normal Venus transit before it goes retrograde in Leo next summer. So to get us started, what we have going on at the beginning of the week is on April 30th, which is my grandpa's birthday. This day is a wonderful time to look at the habit patterns that you are in. This is a great time where we can look at the shadow sides of Taurus. And a huge shadow side is attachment to what doesn't serve you and what is not healthy or right for you. What has to be cut away from your life in order to have a better life? Now, on this day, there will be pastory or Taurian memories going on. What are the Taurus memories? What are the Taurian memories that you remember? What are those nostalgic memories that you have? They could be cooking with a family member. They could be going outside and taking a walk or sitting down and doing something really special with a family member. What are those precious memories? Going somewhere, seeing a orchestra concert, or planting, gardening. Whatever memory is special for you, because Mercury is going retrograde in Taurus and it looks at the simple, looks at the sacred. It looks at your personal values. And so this is a wonderful day to recount those Taurian memories. Now, you will have an assignment that you'll do where you will either make a video or write something about past memories that you've had with family or friends. Now, the thing about Taurus, it's a little bit more open-ended. Cancer deals more with family and emotional connections. We'll talk about that when we get to Cancer. And we talk about that. But when talking about Taurian memories, we're looking at memories that relate to the five senses: taste, touch, smell, hear, and sight. And memories that you personally find valuable that you'll either write about or make a video about. And then you'll submit either that writing or video to my page on the April 30th tab. And that is going to be due by May 10th. So you do have some time. Another aspect of April 30th that we'll be looking at is the simple rhythms of the earth. And you'll not only be recounting your memory, but you will also be going to the farms in the countryside and going to in agricultural lands and hearing and learning how the farmers work their land and experiencing their process. You will be in a field and you will be maybe helping out with that field or helping on growing that field, but mainly it relates to learning and seeing how the farmers do their process. And another deal with this day is having a touring experience, engaging your five senses, doing something that really engages your five senses. Of course, you can do that during the 30 days that the sun is in Taurus, but especially now because the moon will be in Virgo. And it's about service of plant gifts. It is about really looking at the resources of the earth for nourishment and healing. And we're going to be looking at those resources when it comes to, um, you know, all of the treasures of the earth, and that will go along with going into that farming experience. And there'll be buses and information for that Susan, Linda, and Daniel will tell you about. On May 1st, we have several things happening. Pluto is going to go retrograde, and we're going to be doing something of that. But it's also the birthday of Nick Stellina, who is a PBS Italian chef who specializes in simple and authentic Italian cuisine. And so you'll be watching shows from him, episodes, videos from him, to see his process and how he prepares recipes. Everything from carbonara to spaghetti to linguine to chicken scallopini. I didn't say that correctly. To tiramisu. All of those Italian delights. Because Taurus rules the sensory experiences of cooking. The moon will still be in Virgo. And whenever you have the moon in Virgo, it's a wonderful time to get practical and in the kitchen and cook, especially bake, because Virgo rules the details of life. When my Jupiter comes back, when I have my Jupiter return in Virgo, I will be sure to once again make cooking videos, perhaps combine it with the astrology. Maybe I'll do that sometime where I'll have an astrological event and prepare a recipe that goes along with that event. And I'll tie it in. And I'll, kind of do little inserts of, sometimes I'll cook and sometimes I'll talk about it. But Jupiter in Virgo is a supremely wonderful time to cook, to prepare recipes. So, May 1st is also May Day. No one needs to be saved. If anyone needs to be saved, well, then that's not going to happen. Because May Day is a time where we herald in a new month and we celebrate. We leave things on people's doorsteps that are candy and other things. And we welcome in the dominant part of Taurus season or the second half of Taurus season, where we're entering the middle part of Taurus season. Now, Maria De Simone has a video on May astrology overview. Kathy Rose has this as well, Patrick Arundel. I would preferably go find an astrologer and watch a video where they talk about May and the monthly astrology from that point of view. Not watching an astrological event that's happening in May, but a video talking about the astrology of May. So Kathy Rose would be, a great suggestion for that. Or you can, read an article online about what is happening in May. Remember that Pluto is going retrograde. On the 1st, on the 5th, we have the lunar eclipse. On the 9th, we have the Sun and Uranus conjuncting. Before then, on the 6th, just as an event, which I'll talk about later, is the coronation of Charles III. And then May 7th, Venus goes into Cancer. Around the 12th, I think that's the quarter moon in Aquarius going on. Mercury is going to go direct on May 14th. Jupiter enters Taurus on May 16th. Jupiter is opposite Pluto, or Jupiter is squaring Mars, and Mars is opposite Pluto. That's the square. Combined with that new moon in Taurus and the lunar nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, that's the fixed grand cross. The new moon on the 19th of May, and the 21st, we have the sun moving into Gemini. So that's what's going on for May. So moving on. What we're going to be doing with Pluto retrograde is shadow work. Huge, heavy type of shadow work. Where you're going to be looking at what has been hidden, what is not acknowledged, what is the deeper, darker, emotional, negative content material, because when Pluto goes retrograde, it's opportunity to review things, to review power, how you've used it, your relationship with power, the stuff, the aspects of you that need to be destructed and transformed. So, with Pluto going retrograde, you can look at that. But now it's time to look at that shadow content in order to prepare you for the purge that you'll be experiencing on the 5th of May. So there'll be an activity for shadow works that you'll be doing where you will be either making a video or writing about your shadows and the deeper, darker, perhaps private and taboo stuff that you have been dealing with since March 23rd. The reason for this is because Pluto moved into Aquarius on March 23rd. So up until that point, what was going on in your life and what was the shadow material that you have been dealing with? Because Pluto is in a brand new sign. It's going to retrograde into Aquarius starting May 1st, and so you'll be doing that activity. You'll find explanations, that rubric for the activity on my page under the May 1st tab. May 2nd. Today is a day centered around Taurus health and wellness. Now, Heather, Astrology with Heather, did a video on your sun sign and your vitality. With Taurus, she was talking about finding stability, getting grounded, really paying attention to change, not being so rigid, and really keeping in mind what you're putting in your body. Go watch that video for your sun sign, and you can watch for all the 12 signs. And you're going to be watching and reading about Taurus health and wellness, about Taurus health, tips to better the Taurus health, Taurian's health, looking at the part of the body that Taurus rules, which is the throat, learning about that, learning about all those kinds of things. There'll be articles and videos to go along with that you'll be learning and engaging in on May 2nd. On May 3rd is Cheryl Burke. This is her birthday, and she was in Dancing with the Stars, which is a dancing show, which you'll be watching a little bit of, and also recounting her role in Dance Moms, watching an episode of her and Dance Moms, and also watching a couple of her YouTube videos. So you'll be doing a couple of different things watching Dancing with the Stars, watching an episode of Dance Moms with, the episodes that she was in on the show, hosting the show, playing the new host of the show. And also, not only that, but you will also be watching one of her videos as well. So taking advantage of her on May 3rd. And on that day, astrologically, the sun will be in Taurus and the low root, the moon will be in Libra. And you'll be looking at the sun in Taurus and moon in Libra. The high road of that combination with the sun and moon in those signs, and the low road of the sun and moon in those signs. And so you'll be reading and watching and learning about that, and learning about the Taurus sun, super stable, really attuned to your personal values, super grounded here and now on the earth. And the moon in Libra wants peace, beauty, harmony, etc. May 4th comes with a little bit of a conflict. Star Wars versus Audrey Hepburn. So if you know Star Wars and know the story of Star Wars, you should know what that's about. Audrey Hepburn. You'll be seeing My Fair Lady on that Thursday evening, which has Audrey Hepburn playing in it. My Fair Lady is about a woman who has a speech impediment and goes to some man and, becomes better and becomes a musical. And there's several twists in the film, which you will find out about. And then also, so you'll be watching that movie on that particular day and looking at that, and also exploring Taurus, that particular sign in this thing. You'll be looking at various slides and seeing those slides and having an experience for yourself with the Taurus singing and acting. May 5th is the lunar eclipse. Stay home. Cinco de Mayo celebration time. May 6th is Gardening 101, kitchen and gardening tips and hacks. So you'll be gardening, you will be doing all kinds of things like that. Gardening 101, gardening kitchen tips. You're looking at kitchen hacks to better your cooking skills. May 7th, you'll be watching Aidy Bryant with SNL because it is her birthday. You'll be reading and learning about Buddhism, the Buddha, and then reading and watching about Venus in Cancer because Venus will move into Cancer. And those are your weekly announcements.